Welcome, everyone, to War in the Soul City, Episode 8. After a bit of celebrating, dancing with their dates, and some general mingling at the solstice celebration, the prince announced for the tributes to be guided to the appropriate containment to be stored for future use. However, shortly after all of that, the docking port where the truck that was taking all of these people to their new location, their new home, that there was an explosion. A grenade had gone off. Primogen Amy Bach of the Low Clans and Clarence Calhoun, the great-grandchild of Prince Calhoun, were caught in the crossfire. No one is exactly sure, at least amongst the coterie, what's happened to them, because the dig crew, 3 members of it anyway, went chasing after the culprits. With Sheriff Galvin, Hound Spencer Quinn, and Scourge Adam Bashir following closely, either ahead or in front or behind. The crew of them, the lot of them, T-boned the vehicle into a tree. The vehicle stopped. The driver and the passenger apprehended or killed. And the sheriff, the Scourge, and the Hound told the dig crew to go ahead and leave as they were going to clean up the mess. And that leaves our 3 coterie mates, Malice, Ken, and Dana, having made their way back to the hotel briefly. And when Malice called Mercy to have her come back to the hotel, Mercy replied with, "No, you better get back here. The prince is pissed." And so, with Rodney and Mercy and Liv having stayed behind, it is now a choice. Malice, Ken, and Dana must return. Or they could choose not to if that was their true ambition. But we'll get the thoughts of those 3 before they rejoin Rodney. Malice?
Malice isn't really concerned. Lots of torn. What it means that Mercy didn't come with the coterie. She came with the Hakata. Mercy didn't come with the coterie to chase everybody down. He stayed behind. This isn't. I'm not very sure how to take this. Can I tell her? What shouldn't I tell her? The hell did Katarina have me send to Urian? Malice doesn't believe Katarina that it was just ashes. Thinks that this somehow connects to and ties in with what happened tonight.
suppose there's only
I'm not
one way to
sure
know.
about how to investigate.
Well, the only way to know is to collect stories and maybe see if there's some corroborating that you can do, because that's all one can really do. To catch someone in a lie amongst kindred, where to survive one must lie. It's tricky business sometimes. Dana, this is a tricky situation, isn't it? Under normal circumstances, you would be right alongside them driving that truck yourself.
Something to consider. Think that when I end up looking at this, I sometimes need to remind myself who I'm dealing with. Reality is that they just got sold up the river. Thin blood. Just cannon fodder. That's all they. You'll hear the moral grandizing, but when it really comes down to it, they've shown me who to throw my chits in. So now I'm with the Camarilla. Camarilla. Whatever you want to call it. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but at least here, I have a long future in Jack. There's no future for what they're off. If you have any doubts about that, you take a look at these Thin Bloods and what that's going to happen to them. I'm just trying to end up thinking this through. Rare trait on the other side, I can guarantee you.
And then there's our newbie, Ken Tanaka.
Ken is kind of horrified after last night. Camarillo was supposed to be the greener pastures for him, but he's seen that they do terrible things just like the Anarchs, and he doesn't know what to think. He's also worried about his vision and what it means that everything is coming true. And he knows the hammer is about to fall, and he is worried about that.
Well, what hammer that might be, even you don't know, particularly. You haven't really divulged that information to your coterie either. Not much, because there was very little to see. But the three of you come back to the lovely Museum of Art. Typically, this particular delightful museum is all abuzz with people gawking at timeless artifacts of the past, curated and collected together by Caitlin Fargus herself. But today, in this ballroom, most, if not all, of the kindred in this room, speaking in hushed voices only, the prince sitting at the table with the seneschal, his fingers arched in front of his mouth, staring at the door, his eyes unmoving, unblinking, as the three of you rejoin the festivities, if there are to be any more. To join up with your coterie mates. Rodney, you see as the other three have entered the room, you, Mercy, and Liv have been double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking the entire perimeter with the help of some of the other kindred in this vicinity to make sure that there were no other booby traps or surprise attacks or things of that sort. The one thing that you did catch, though, is that the keeper of the Elysium, Aurelia Delcroix, is nowhere to be found.
Possibly dead. Possibly double dead. Or taken. I don't want to think that. No. But it cannot be. I need to look and find. They are not here. That is what we know. They are not here. And the prince needs to know that they are not here. Yes.
The first thing that I would like you to do, Rodney, is a resolve investigation, and I'm going to allow that at a +2, given the amount of help you have. Are you just going to leave it there?
I will willpower.
Okay. Or there is a succeed at a cost.
No, I'll willpower.
Okay.
I've got 3 dice to reroll there.
Yes.
Beautiful. There we go.
Fantastic. 5. Rodney, you've done your significant amount of digging in tunnels. One thing that you find particularly odd is that there is a weird dust at the entrance of the this place. Not at the ticket booth where the keeper had been. No, this is outside.
Dust.
A weird, very fine dust.
Or ash.
It's weird for dust to be anywhere near this place because this place is not under construction anymore. And there's grassy fields and gardens all around this place. No, this is weird. You kneel down and inspect it, and you grab a handful, kind of sniff it, play with it in your hands, and you feel something kind of prick your finger a little bit, and there is a shard of wood.
Oh. Oh. Definitely double dead. Must inform the prince. Or the sheriff. Someone. I would like to... I assume I have others working with me, yes?
Yes, and about the time that you find this handful of dust with the wood shard in it is about when Malice, Ken, and Dana come back to this place. You have a moment to speak before you all enter.
Ah, you're back. Glad
Yeah.
to see that you are all back. Yes.
What's the situation in here?
I present to you the keeper. And he gestures at the pile of dust.
Well,
Keeper.
I'm assuming so. There was no other sign of them.
more's the pity. She...
How
Oh, go ahead.
how did things go on your end?
The offerings recovered. Those here driving or at the tender mercies of the sheriff. And destined, I have no doubt, to find themselves greeting the dawn henceforth, or some other miserable fate that will be cruelly engineered specific to make sure that the crime and punishment are duly in step.
Ah.
How is the ambience in here? She looks around as though taking in the crowd, trying to gauge the general mood of the room.
I believe the word is tense. Yes.
Malice points at the pile of dust. What makes you think that's the keeper?
Because they are
Police.
nowhere else to be found. Nowhere.
Is anyone else missing?
Is anybody else missing that I've noticed?
That would be a resolve awareness.
I'll add my dice to that pool.
Okay. Then it'll be a wit awareness because you're then it'll be in this moment instead of Rodney's overall investigation.
I'm doing a wits awareness, or
Yeah, and you can add a +1.
That's 2. So far as you can tell, no. No, it looks like most everyone's accounted for.
to my knowledge, the keeper seems to be the only one missing.
Okay.
Well,
She's not here, so she's missing. Again, what makes you think this pile of dust is her?
Rodney takes the handful that he's still got in his hand, and he opens it, and he points to the shards of wood within it.
Have you informed the prince yet?
I was about to do that, but you should. So 3 of you.
Well, best not leave His Highness waiting.
Yes, yes, yes.
Keep that in
And
your hand, bro.
Rodney, hands still held like this, turns around and walks inside.
Mm-mm.
Why do I feel like we have a sword of Damocles hanging over our heads?
That was true from the moment you signed up.
That was always true. More so with the Camarilla than the Anarchs. Always true being kindred.
Dana bites down on her bottom lip. Continues to go down and go inside.
And so, the 4 of you, Liv and Mercy, having just completed their rounds of the place, join you shortly after you all walk in, kind of catching up. The 6 of you, you see that the seneschal barely even looks toward you to acknowledge your presence, but the prince, he's been staring forward, his hands kind of folded together, and when the 6 of you walk in is when he somewhat lifts his chin so that you could see the entirety of his face, no longer hiding his lips behind his hands. Do you have something to report?
Yes, my prince. First off, involving the theft, the offerings are still here, unrecovered. Our dear sheriff is currently apprehended one of the 2 drivers. Unfortunately, if memory serves, the second one did not end up surviving the encounter. More to the celebration and a reason for good tidings at the very least, given the evening's events. And I believe that is here dampened by news brought to us here by Rodney here, Durwood. She makes it a point to make sure everybody hears the name. Who has discovered a sad tidings. Now, she steps to the side. Rodney would be more than pleased to explain it in detail to our prince. Isn't that right, Rodney? She kind of half-heartedly pats you on the shoulder, pushing you forward a little bit. Just trying to stand up straight.
Mr. Drummond.
Excuse me, news. It seems everybody is accounted for except for the keeper. I found this at the entryway. I believe it to be keeper's ashes.
I would like anyone who wants to make a wits insight.
I think I will.
Ooh. That's a 5.
Oh, that's a messy crit.
Five on a crit.
5 on a regular crit? Or is it messy? Sorry, was that messy, Bojo, or was it a clean crit?
It's clean.
Okay.
2 10s and an 8. The 8 is on the blood die.
Okay. Rodney, Ken, you notice nothing out of the ordinary except for some furrowed brows on the prince. And from your understanding, he's a pretty stoic individual. He hardly ever lets anything slip. Malice, you have been in this city and embraced long enough to know that Prince Calhoun is not an angry man. But when you look at him now, his eyes shift to Seneschal Howell for a moment, and you see his shoulders tense. You suspect that he's relatively angry. Dana, you've seen that face before. You've seen that face he's made. That's the kind of look that he was giving you when he was asking you why he shouldn't slay you where you stood. This prince does not like his people being attacked. 2 of the kindred of this court have caught fire and have suffered an incredible injury, and 1 is suspected dead. This raises the hair on the back of your neck. You're starting to get a little paranoid. He's gonna come after you next. He's gonna come after you, and maybe Ken. Maybe you should throw him under the bus while you can. Save your own neck. You're not safe here. Not safe here at all.
And yet if I end up leaving, cast more suspicion. They end up knowing that I was the last one to speak to the keeper. Pulled her aside privately, a discussion on what could happen. Well, my eyes might jump to the venture for a moment. You overheard our conversation. What did he know? Of course he told the prince. There is obviously... I almost feel the need to swallow if it wasn't for the fact that, well, I don't make saliva anymore. Nothing more than a withered husk at this point. And the prince is going to wish to end up making an example. If I end up deciding to end up enacting in a way that doesn't quite line up, then my own existence is forfeit. I try to keep steady. But right now, I am a...
You're a cornered animal. And you're worried that it's showing. As a result of the bestial crit, you can't hide that you're feeling like cornered prey. But it's in that moment that the doors behind you open again. And what you see is the sheriff dragging two corpses? You're not entirely sure. Behind him. The ones that you had stopped the truck. What do you do?
Ah! Our dear sheriff arrives, no doubt with the two responsible. I step to the side.
Rodney kind of shuffles out of the way, head bowed.
A righteous sheriff has arrived and brings good tidings in hopes that it'll satiate the need for the courts of justice to prevail.
The sheriff brings the two kind of that are dragging along, their bodies mangled. And when he goes up to the prince and kind of throws them both before him, one kind of flops in a very dead kind of way. The other braces himself on his knees, his mangled knees. The young man, the one that you knew from your Anarch days, is the one on his knees before the prince. Kind of sounds like he's coughing blood. The prince stands from his seat, a weapon at his side, and he draws a long sword out of it. You have committed crimes against this court. You and your ilk are responsible for the injury of kindred and the death of another. What do you have to say for yourself? And you hear slight laughter coming from the young man, Danny. Your rule will end, Calhoun. You will fall. All in the name of Tyler. And with an action quicker than most of you have ever seen anyone draw and swing a sword, this person's head is swiped clean off. The body crumples in a slowly oozing pool of vitae.
Well, that is a frenzy check on my part.
Oh, 'cause you were hungry.
Yep.
As the king, as Prince Calhoun swings his sword, Alice stares at Katerina.
Any modifiers, given the fact that I'm in Elysium?
There are plenty of people who would be able to stop you, so yes. I'm going to say at
What's the modifier?
+1.
Would I should make this check too with?
You passed, Dana. You're keeping your cool. As hard as it is, you're keeping your cool. And you are at Hunger 4?
I'm at Hunger 5.
Oh, my dude.
Oh no.
Oh no. Frenzy check for you
Yeah.
too, my friend, at a +1.
So I just click the frenzy button?
Yep. And then the modifier's +1.
Yeah, so you make your current willpower, your current humanity, it'll do the math for you, and your modifier is +1.
Skin in your teeth, Ken. Holding it together, but you know that if you stay in this place for much longer, you are going to flip out. It's only a matter of time. But the prince hasn't dismissed you yet. Let it be decreed that any and all kindred known associates of Anarchs are to be hunted. They're to be brought to final death. The Anarchs are to be brought to final death. They have wronged this court for long enough. What are you all standing here for? You have work to do.
I think it's at that point I going to have to end up making a bow, imagine more than just myself, and start ushering myself out.
Ken will follow suit as quickly as possible after doing the proper bow and walking away.
Dig crew. You are to
Apologize, by
stay.
the way. Oh no.
And as soon as the prince declares it, any and all kindred except for the seneschal, the sheriff, the 2 bodies on the ground, and the 6 of you are left.
Rodney stands kind of frozen in place with these ashes in his hand, like, what the fuck just happened?
Alice turns to Rodney. I don't think you need to hold that anymore.
I don't know what else to do with it.
There's a dustbin over there.
Moves to go and put the ashes in the bin.
Do not move.
Yes, my prince.
What happened? I want to hear it from your mouths.
Okay, I take a quick look. Okay, who? This is Dana kind of just judging here. Okay, who here wants to explain this shit, and how many of you are immediately taking a step back saying, not me?
I'll
Rodney's
stand with
just
Dana.
Alright, I got this. Dana steps forward. The attack upon the Elysia is regrettable. It appears that it came from outside, potentially from breaking a perimeter of something like just outside of Elysia. What route they ended up coming in from is unknown at this exact moment in time. The explosion seeming to have caused grievous injury and, regrettably, the loss of our Keeper of Elysium. Alas, I believe it is the Keeper's responsibility to ensure the safety of those provided along with the resources brought in. The failure has been fatal, regrettable to say. In doing so, the explosion seems to be a cover, giving them a moment. If I had to end up guessing, there was not enough time to end up filling the room and end up removing all, then supplant the bomb. Explosive itself, however, was meant more as a distraction to keep us from pursuing or to make us focus on the immediate, not giving them more time for distance. The dig crew ended up going in pursuit and managing to halt the van enough and give enough time for brave Sheriff Galvin to be able to end up catching up in pursuit after securing our dearest prince's well-being. We ended up catching these two. He looks down at Headless Corpse and the other one that I can only it's starting to smell at this point. To which we ended up stopping the van from diving deep into Anarch territory. It was always understood that they were becoming desperate of specifically in feeding. The wisdom of the Prince Strike now is, well, I think in good importance. They're struggling to feed themselves, leaving only a few that are a true credible threat. The rest, hardly the blood to end up sustaining themselves, far less be a fighting force. We ended up retaining it, and in such, now we have the blood to be able to end up making a prolonged siege, whereas they are left to a very small domain. The fear at this point is that now they'll end up going to ground, finding themselves within various domains, securing themselves individually and allowing for the heat to die down. With the prince formally decreeing what I believe qualifies as a blood hunt. At this point, it's simply a matter of finding the Anarch traitors and removing them at your will. I hope that that summation is adequate.
It is. One such newcomer to your coterie.
My eyes shift to Kenny.
You have a lot to prove to this court, Mr. Tanaka. I hope you have not squandered your gift by betraying me.
I wouldn't dream of it, my prince. I thank you for this chance, and I will prove that I'm worthy of surviving this.
And you, Miss Rain.
At your beck and call, Prince, at all time.
Good.
Is there anything in particular that we can end up performing a labor of sorts that would assist His Majesty the current predicament?
Secure the border. No anarch crosses. If they do, you have the full permission to remove them. You are the bulwark. Do not fail me now.
May in their avarice they be consumed.
Now go.
By your leave, my prince. The dig crew shall end up making its way. She takes a step back, starts walking. He kind of leading the charge, but reality is her paranoia is telling her to be the first one out of the goddamn gates while the getting's good.
And so, that leaves the 6 of you exiting the premises, I'm sure, given that the prince has commanded you to leave. Where do you go?
At this point, I need to feed, I need to end up getting ready, I need to end up healing myself, I need to end up being ready.
Rodney would like to return to the hotel, and he would like to call his cats together.
So all of you are returning to the hotel?
Yeah, Ken needs to feed as well. He is feeling quite a bit peckish.
Quite a bit is an understatement, Mr. Tanaka. But the 6 of you do return. And Canny Boy, those mangled corpses on the ground looked mighty tasty. So, who is going to feed first?
I guess I will.
Okay. Just a reminder, given your compulsion, for the time being, you are at a -2 penalty because this is not putting you in a safe spot.
Well, let us hope, because right now I need plus, but... Specialty. 2's enough to do it.
Now I need a frenzy check.
And this is going to be the tough one.
Yep. You're not in a place where you can get a bonus. That's 4 on a crit.
Oh, I did succeed. I thought I failed.
Yep, that's 4 on a crit.
I am going to take 2.
It's almost as if the very kind of calming taste of this blood kind of settles your beast a bit. There's a very calm and collected, kind of relaxed feel to the taste of this person. So much so that you're very... I will give this as an automatic present for the resonance. So let's see how strong it might be. It's there. It's enough for you to hang on to when you're drinking. It's soothing as it goes down, almost like a warm like a warm tea. Tastes of happiness, contentment.
Well, we can be grateful for small things. I'm elated at the taste and at the calmness. I think that's the only real peace we have, is when we feed. Very least, it's... well, it is what it is. I try and savor and slow my walk back to the others, just to take a moment.
Kind of
losing my...
In the meantime, Ken, you said you needed to feed as well. Are you getting the assistance of any of your coterie mates?
Giving my feeding type, I don't think that I would.
Ah, that's right. You are a consensualist. So, given that this is the first time that we've seen Ken go about his feeding, how does Ken go about getting consent?
I imagine...
set the stage.
He would play it off as trying to pick someone up and present it as like a blood kink of some kind that he is into, trying to, you know, fancy himself a fake vampire just as a role play kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. The biter, not the bitey.
Yes.
Okay.
That is about the best I can come up with.
Okay. So you hit up the hotel bar, since there is one here. You go about prowling around, seeing if you can find the tastiest of morsels, and one does catch your eye. I would like your feeding roll, which I believe is a manipulation persuasion. And do you have a specialty to persuade victims?
Yes.
Okay, and you added that?
Yes.
Okay. That will do it. So, this person, luckily enough, seems to be into that. Seems to be very willing to share their hotel room with you. They more or less drag you upstairs, and you know that the scent of their anticipation is just almost too much for you to handle. They sweep you inside, and you're able to play it off a moment before getting into the fact that you desperately want a bite. And when you do, having gathered their consent to do so, I need you to make a frenzy check. Difficulty 4.
This is what I was scared about. No modifiers?
Nope, you are alone.
Here goes nothing.
No.
You can't re-roll for a frenzy check, correct?
Nope. You sink your fangs in. You intend to be delicate with your beautiful looks, your delicate touch. But as soon as fangs hit flesh and that slight taste hits your tongue, the monster in you comes out. You had intended to just take brief sips from this entire person's body and leave very little behind to calm that, but no, your fangs, once they get a taste of it, they go straight for the jugular. Your whole mouth almost unhinges and wraps around the neck of this person, chomping down to suck down every last drop that this gushing, bloody vessel is now spewing into your mouth. It's almost as if you don't have to swallow. It is just pouring and pouring and pouring into you. And with each beat of their heart, it splashes the back of your mouth, and it tastes so good. You just can't stop. You need to get the other veins, and so your mouth clenches and clenches and clenches until there is nothing left of the neck of this person. And when you come to a point where you're satiated, you are now at hunger 0. Your beast, cowed. But there is a body in this hotel room, decapitated by your jaws. A bloody mess on the bed. All she wanted was some kinky biting play. And she got turned into a bloody piece of work.
Ken's just going to step back horrified. What have I done? I did not mean to do this. What do I do now?
I would like you to take 3 stains.
How do I mark that?
That is on your humanity tracker.
Okay, do I do it to a slash?
A slash on an empty box. So
Yeah.
make
So
one.
when it comes to humanity, you're kind of operating typically. Your humanity scale is from left to right, but when you're taking stains, it goes from right to left. So you're actually dependent on the empty boxes.
Yep.
Whatever's
Okay.
not marked in will dictate how many dice you have in the remorse check. So the lower humanity you are, the more stains you can actually acquire and still have a half decent chance of being able to not lose humanity on the next roll, making it easier and easier to offend.
Okay. What happens when it reaches? Because that would reach
So you
my
have
humanity.
you would have the 2 empty boxes that you would have that you fill with your humanity tracker. The next one goes to your willpower. So you take one superficial willpower damage as a result instead.
Okay, so then it goes to a slash in willpower.
Yes,
Okay. Sorry.
that's fine. We wanted to get all of that clear. This person had nothing to do with following the orders of someone. This person had nothing to do with being guilty of anything. And their outright murder is not civil at all. So that's your 3 stains, and we will come to convictions and if you can remove some of those stains as a result. But that is your current predicament, Mr. Tanaka.
I would try to. I would assume that at some point I have exchanged numbers with the coterie mates so we can keep in touch.
At the very
Oh,
least, you
please
have.
let me have that phone call. Please let me have that phone call.
I'm pretty sure that
Oh,
Dana
yeah.
would have headed the charge in that, yeah. If you don't have her personal number, you know how to contact her through the hotel at least.
Yeah, I would contact Malice because I am not giving Dana any more ammunition that I need to be ridiculed for.
You don't have Malice's direct number either, unless he's chosen to give it to you in the last few weeks.
That would be up to you, Mojo.
Yes, Malice and Kenny would have changed numbers.
Okay.
Okay, I would dial up Malice's number.
But before we get to that, Malice, I think you had something that you wanted to say to Mercy. Did you not?
I did. I do.
You have a moment to speak with her.
What happened tonight?
What do you mean what
Thought you
happened
were
tonight?
coming with the coterie.
Sorry, what?
I thought you were coming with the coterie.
I was gonna. But what? I showed up at the door of the museum and the keeper ushered me in. That's what I did. I had just gone over to say hi to Katerina, be nice and all of that, when you all showed up. What's wrong, Malice?
I don't trust Katerina. Don't trust her at all.
I don't trust any of them dumb fucks either, but you don't see me complaining none.
I'm not complaining. Trying to tell you, voice some concerns.
I get it.
I think what happened tonight is tied to what she had me sending in.
You really think
Can't
that?
prove
You
it.
think that she would do that?
Wouldn't put it past her.
She's not an idiot like our sire was.
No. She'll go through us because we are our sire's children, so that she can say that it wasn't her. I think it was more than ashes. As I said, I can't prove it.
Now you're just speculating. You're getting all paranoid and shit.
Told that goes with the part and parcel of what we are. Paranoia. Didn't make it any less true. Didn't make
No.
it true. Didn't make it not true either.
And you're worried that I'm colluding with her or some shit.
No.
Malice, I wouldn't do that to you.
It's not the collusion. Call it intuition, whatever you want. But I have a strong suspicion that she's part of this. And she has a chance she'd do what she could to separate the two of us.
You really think she wants to separate us? Why?
No, you show no interest in the alternative ways are.
Nah, 'cause it's all spooky shit. And I don't want to do nothing that has anything to do with all of that. Magdalene, ain't nobody should have right to do that. And I'm worried that you getting all sunk into it is gonna get you in trouble more than it is with me. I'm trying to play nice for you, Malice.
You don't really play nice with others. But I appreciate the gesture.
Well, no, I don't play nice with others, but you know, at least I'm putting forth the effort.
Now you're, as I said, not a major concern of you as much as it is with Katarina. Can't shake it.
You and me were blood.
Always. Always have been, always will be.
Ain't nothing more important than family to me, Malice. And your family. You get me?
As deeply as I can. And speaking of, you heard anything from Bastion lately?
No, I haven't really had the time, you know, kind of stocking up my own resources and shit.
That's a full-time job.
It is, when you gotta eat like I do. You're lucky. You're lucky you don't have to do that.
I ain't too far off.
I had to learn how to become a professional butcher.
At least you got some of your medical training. Go back on.
Some doctor I made. Look. You know I got your back. Or your front, whichever you need.
Be careful how loud you say that. Liv's gonna have her own way of thinking about that.
Ah, fuck
And
her.
she
Let her
already
think what
suffered
she
it
wanna
enough.
think.
She She's already put her foot in the mouth.
She already assumes as much.
Hell, I don't know how she can talk with that thing in her mouth.
I guess it's a good thing that she goes on patrols every night, I guess.
Definitely need to be on our toes.
Well,
I have, as well as suspicions about Katarina. I have strong suspicions this is only going to get worse. With us being this close to their domain.
given my proclivities
Catch it first.
and my abilities, Malice, I don't think it's gonna hurt nothing if I help Liv out.
I don't either. I'm just saying that I don't think it wise to be leaving by yourself at all possible.
We start walking together in groups, they're gonna find us even easier.
They're going to find us no matter what.
And with
And
the
as I
prince
said, we
declaring
got
that all of
opportunity.
them need to die, they ain't got long for this world.
The whole Camarilla I found. Oh, they ain't got long for this world, but I'm telling you, if it ain't Spencer and his crew, it's gonna be us to catch it first. Having backup isn't a bad idea. I ain't saying you gotta be joined at the hip by any means.
Coordinated though, I get it.
Exactly.
I ain't an idiot, Malice.
I never said you were, Mercy.
No, I never said you said I was. Listen, I'm gonna go and do that tonight. Me and Liv are gonna go make sure that, everything around here is all secure and shit. And then, kind of branch off from the hotel and kind of double check, triple check everything.
When you get done, give me a call.
And that's about when your phone does actually go off, Malice.
Just said, you're done with that, give me a call. Excuse me just a moment. Alice will take out his phone. Hello?
Mercy just kind of nods and walks away out of the hotel.
Malice, I need your help. I did something terrible. I lost control. Can you come up to room whatever the hell I'm in?
Mhm.
And I don't know what to do.
Malice will tell Kenny, give me 10 minutes. Let me look something up very quickly.
Mm.
I got it. Don't remember.
What are you looking up?
Ashes to ashes.
Ashes.
He
to
made
ashes.
a bad choice.
You needing to look up the ritual?
No, it's not a ritual. It's a discipline ability. I'm trying to see what the abominations are required to perform this ritual.
Oh, okay. Ashes to ashes. I found it. Let's see.
Strong suspicion they will be needed.
This power enables the vampire to destroy a corpse, fresh or long dead, By introducing their vitae to its body, the power does not work on vampires, but does work on animated cadavers. It's one
So
rouse.
Okay.
Yep. And then
There was something else I was supposed to spread over the body besides my vitae. Okay.
the vampire makes a rouse check to expend vitae and introduces the vitae to the corpse. Unless the corpse is animated, the body disintegrates over 3 turns with no test necessary.
Okay. That's what I was looking up.
That's why I have a book.
I got books. They're just all digital. And not one open right now.
I just got lucky it's strewn right to the page. So
Malice will make his way as quickly to room. Can he say?
you would have the room number.
Okay. And Malice will make his way after Mercy leaves as quickly as possible.
Okay. And Malice, when you knock on the door and Ken answers, Ken, what state are you in?
I might not even answer the door. I might be in the corner, just my head in my hands, sitting like on the back of my heels, crouched down, just muttering to himself. I didn't mean to do it. She was such an innocent. I can't lose control like this again. This isn't acceptable. He's just going to be repeating that over and over again.
Coterie mates outside of Ken have master keys, possibly?
Is that something that
If he
y'all
doesn't
would have
open the door, I'm
arranged?
going to need a key.
It makes sense since
Yeah.
we basically have to run at the place.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Malice will knock again.
Can you hear the knocking?
Is that you, Malice?
Yes. Let me in.
Ken will slowly get up and walk over to the door and open it.
And you see him in a bloody state. Blood dripping from every place on the front of his body. Well, it's about congealed now.
Shit.
I didn't mean to. I lost control. I don't know what happened. This has never happened to me before. I just meant to take a little bit.
Take off your clothes and go get a shower. How large are the trash cans in this room?
They're standard, like, little office things. There's no big trash in here at all.
Okay. Where is the closest supply closet to this room on this floor?
High or low?
Oh.
It's low. It's actually on this side of the building, so it's not too far. Maybe like 2 hallways down compared to the other side of the building.
Malice will grab the trash can. Tell Ken, put your clothes in here. And I'll be right back. Malice is gonna run to the supply closet. We need trash bags.
Ken would robotically just start undressing.
Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of trash bags to find in the supply closet. They're
I
all of
also
the
grabbed two.
they're all of the small kind of trash bags that you find in like the small hotel room trash cans, which Ken also
Mal-
finds is lining the trash can that he's putting his clothes in.
Malice is looking for the ones that the housekeeping would generally keep to collect all of those, the larger for the
Yeah,
bin.
there's some of those too as well.
Alice wants to get one of those and a little of bleach, possibly a scrub brush, and any other cleaning supplies he can think of that might remove blood.
Okay. You're basically looking for a housekeeping cart and swiping it.
Yes, yes. Trying to see if there's one in the closet.
Yeah, there's a housekeeping cart in the closet, lucky enough.
Okay. Malice will grab that and head back to the room quickly and quietly.
Mm-hmm. And Ken is now completely undressed, still half bloody.
Okay. Malice gets back with all your clothes in here. Malice will start taking off his suit. He's he gets down to just a pair of shorts and a black undershirt.
Mm.
He's wearing under his suit. Looks up at Ken. This might swallow you a touch, but you get your shower, get dressed, and leave.
Ken, you
You see
realize you
Mercy.
have no clothes in this room.
While Malice is taking off his suit,
Oh.
and when he gets done with the shower, put on the suit. If he
Mm.
sees Mercy, tell her to bring me a spare change of clothes. Anything will do.
Are you sure you just want me to leave? I should help you.
You
I
need to
did.
get a shower. You need to get this blood off of you.
Okay, I'll do that. And I'll go in and I'll get in the shower.
And like I said, Malice is taking off his suit. He gets down to just the black undershort and black shorts he's wearing underneath.
Mm.
Looks for a pair of gloves.
There's plenty on the housekeeping cart.
And then when Cam walks into the bathroom, he'll make sure the door is shut. He's going to walk over to the body.
Okay. And this is a level 1 power, so you do get a rouse reroll on this because you're a vampire.
Success.
Success. All right. So what does this look like when Malice performs this power of oblivion?
Malice will bite his wrist. And as he squeezes his wrist over the body, we'll start from the head and go down, slowly expending a rouse worth of blood from head to toe. And that means I am now hungrier. Yay.
No, you're not hungrier if you passed your rouse check.
But I spend a rouse worth of blood. Doesn't that make
No.
me hungrier?
No, the rouse check
Okay.
is for that purpose.
Okay.
The rouse check is the amount of blood that you are spending, but it doesn't make you hungrier in this case.
Okay.
You have enough in the tank that you're not penalized for it.
But as it's finished, starting from the head, it starts bubbling, almost like almost as if it's like acid eating away,
Mm.
and
Almost
as it
like little
makes
black
its way
wisps
down,
of smoke coming off of it.
yeah, everything that has bubbled begins to turn to ash. And yeah, depending on how long it takes Ken to take a shower, you might see a little black smoke, little wisps coming off the body as it's turned to ash. Maybe even a little bit of black smoke as it's just ash.
I'll leave it to UST how long it takes me to take a shower. I'm just rinsing off.
I'm going to leave that to you because you were already kind of in a pseudo fetal position when Malice first came up on the room. Are you just in like autopilot, like completely?
Yeah, I'm kind of just going through things robotically. Ken's
Almost like
mortified
he's
at what
checked
he's
out.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's alone with his thoughts right now, though. What are some of the thoughts running through his head? If any.
You're supposed to be better than this. You came to this side because you didn't want people to get hurt. How could you lose control like that? You never will let this happen again.
But a deep little part of you in the back of your mind reminds you that you are, in fact, a monster. Tonight just proves it all the more. But while Malice and Ken are cleaning up, so to speak, Dana, where are you exactly? Are you following Rodney as he calls the cats?
No, at this point I am going to the armory if no one's going to be around. No, actually scrap that. I'll wait until everybody gets back. We're going to have a little bit of a group meeting at this point. Okay. Rodney dealing with his cats means I gotta go downstairs amongst the filth and the smell of ammonia.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather skip that, thank you.
No, you rather much like your kind of bunker suite. The kind of cushy-ish for hotel furniture bunker that you've all created down here. So, Rodney, what are you intending to learn from your cats?
Well,
Charles has pretty much been with you side by side where he can be throughout the whole night.
He is going to inform his cats that some bad things have happened and that it is now more imperative than ever that his cats keep an eye out and come back to him with anything that seems odd in order to help maintain their safety.
Okay, so you do have to use feral whispers on the other cats?
Yes.
So that would be a rouse.
Bang.
Successful.
Yay. So yes, he would like to inform them of all of that.
Okay.
And he would like to ask them if they have seen anything.
I'm gonna ask for a charisma animal ken.
Yes. And +1 with cats. I'd like to willpower reroll that, just to be sure.
Or I could let you succeed at a cost.
No, I'm gonna willpower reroll, I think.
Okay.
First.
Okay.
Woo!
They seem very keen to be very aware of what's going on, and the news from the Flowwood neighborhood hasn't really changed. They haven't really made any attempts to go in. They don't want to, because animals in that region disappear. It's safer to be at the hotel. And so, but when it comes to information through the hotel that they've been able to gather, given that they are the local strays, they haven't noticed anyone odd per se as to other dead things, if that's what you're worried about. They have spotted the odd person, but upon, sniffing them out, they don't smell like dead things. Kooky.
The odd person that doesn't smell like dead things.
No. Just some, weird patrons, and the like.
What do my cats refer to as weird? What have these people been doing to catch their attention?
Trying to think about that. So a way a cat would describe it is, how you have your ordinary person. Then you have your slightly wacky person. They act more like you than they do like Dana, for instance. But they don't smell like dead things. They thought that was only a dead thing. But those kooky scatterbrains end up getting kicked out because they don't pay for rooms. They just kind of sit around and do nothing, and then are asked to leave. Sometimes with force. You get the sense that when you're talking to them, they're mostly referring to probably some of the kooky homeless people that you know.
Okay. He thanks them.
They start meowing very insistently. You can understand that to mean food, treats, scritches,
Yes.
bites. Can we have all of that, please?
He gives them as much of that as he can. I do believe he's probably got some food stored away from his usual diggings. And allows them to have nibbles and scritches from him himself.
Mm-hmm.
Kooky scatterbrains. He may need to check in with his homeless friends, as it seems like they've been trying to get his attention. So that will be his next port of call. But first, he will make his way back up to talk to everybody else after he's finished with his feline friends.
You see Dana right away. Malice and Ken haven't come back yet, though. I imagine Malice is going to take a long time to clean up the excess blood that's in that room as well. Not just the body and the ash. There is a splatter pattern all over this room.
Malice will be using his knowledge of crime scene cleanup, going over the room thoroughly.
If you want to do it thoroughly, it will likely take the rest of the night.
Malice will be thorough.
Okay. Then we might not be seeing any more of Malice for tonight, since he's busy. Ken, you're dressed in a suit that doesn't fit, and you've been told to leave the room. Where do you go from here?
Ken would probably walk down to his room and try to get into something more comfortable, that like his favorite like band shirt, and like, you know, his comfort food, like
comfort clothes.
If there was comfort, yeah, if there's comfort clothes equivalent to comfort food, he would be going after that, something that he likes.
You do see Ken coming down after having dressed in something a little more casual and a little more akin to, like, what kind of band shirt is this, Ken? Is this something that Dana would be kind of into?
Depends on how old metal that she likes. Probably.
She was born in the 90s, embraced in the 2000s. No. Born in the 80s, embraced in the 2000s.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Fear Factory, System of a Down, Korn, those kinds of bands that were of the time when he was growing up.
Is that a band shirt that Ken would be wearing right now?
Yes.
Okay. Dana, are any of those up your alley?
I'm not offended. That's about as close to a compliment as you can expect out of me.
But it's a comfy shirt, maybe some comfy pants.
I just have a vision of him in yoga pants.
Bro, yoga pants are comfortable.
That's it, I'm out.
But I digress. But yeah, Dana, you do see that Rodney has come up from his talk with his cats, and Ken has come down from wherever it is he was, and dressed into something a little more
fantastic. So, where should we like to begin here? Rodney, I'm pretty sure you already ended up coming up with something.
Yes, I think. I think. Perhaps my contacts have been trying to get in contact with me. From what my feline friends have noticed. So I will be going to speak to them.
It is also pretty late in the night, too.
How has, what is going forward of this?
Well, it would seem that the prince is pretty adamant on us shoring up what defenses there are in our little neck of the woods and trying to end up maintaining otherwise. So at this point, I think that is where the focus must be. We need to have eyes and ears wherever we go. We need to know when they're coming in, who's coming in, and be ready to deal with them. So those are the three basic objectives that we're going to have to end up indulging ourselves in. Now, the problem. Outside of Liv, none of us are a true combatant. So, puts us in quite the predicament, doesn't it?
If we're going to fight this, I'll need to talk to Liv and see if I can secure something to defend myself.
Unless it involves a flamethrower or some kind of rocket-propelled grenade launcher, I don't think your pellet gun is going to suffice.
It's about all I'm used to for in a fight. I'm not that, not a combatant, as you said.
And Rodney, would you get this thing away from me? It keeps trying to nuzzle up to me.
But
Yes.
it likes you.
I'm trying not to eat the cat. Trying not to eat the cat.
Stroke its fur. It is lovely. You should do it.
Ken will reach down and pick the cat up. If it'll let him.
Well, Rodney, what does Charles think of being picked up by someone other than you?
I don't know.
Apparently, they're perfectly fine with it.
Charles will probably struggle a little bit. He's almost as antisocial as Rodney is.
Kind of baps at Ken's hand for a second, but then, like, some kind of weird kind of rocket jump kind of thing just leaps somehow from Rodney's hand into the crook of your hunch. And just kind of settles in, just kind of watching.
Good kitty. So we need eyes and ears and way to take out problems. Yes? This is what we need?
Let us consider our options. This attack. Does anybody have any inclination on how to be able to end up looking out for anarchs in our particular domain, being able to roost them out, and being able to tackle them should they end up deciding to end up making this not quiet matter?
animals can tell when things are dead.
Good, use that. The other
I have
thing,
been.
fantastic. The other thing we need to end up considering is that we have some contenders. I think Rodney's already familiar with one.
Never again. Never again.
By the Prince's decree, there will be again, Rodney.
Well, I'm sure her alligator will be rather upset that I punched it in the face.
Well, it's going to be more upset when it finds out that you ended up laying her to ash in the sun. That will be another point that we need to be ready for.
I'm sorry, did you say an alligator?
Yes. Alligator. There is a kindred who keeps alligators.
They have to come out to feed sometime. They can insist on their own defense, well, then we just have to wait for them to eat their own home. At this point, they're half starved. Most of them are desperate, going to come to us. We have to take this as a given.
I have a concern. You mentioned them potentially going into hiding at the thing. But what if they don't? What if they work together?
Then we need to know about it ahead of time. We need to know who, what, where, when, how, all those delicious little questions that just make the mind go in flights of fancy.
When I went for a walk into Anarch territory, I mentioned this to you before, but there were one marking across the entire area that I went. And I covered a lot of ground.
It's been considered. But there hasn't been an answer to my question.
What was your question again?
How do we find them when they come into our location? How do we isolate them? And how do we remove them? Those are the 3 criteria. Now, I don't really care if they end up burning, getting blown up, eaten, or just left out to the sun, but they need to be removed on the Prince's order. Doesn't that make it so open to interpretation? Almost like writing poetry. Worse yet, we have our own... well... we have our own problems to end up contending with. Now, I can go about, pull a whole bunch of strings, but at the end of it, we need to know exactly what we are having at our disposal. And my biggest fear is that we're going to be talking ourselves in circles without actually getting to any particular points or any particular point of a plan, as communication is not exactly this coteries forte.
Well, finding. I have the cats around the hotel. I could see how many other animals I can get working with us throughout the domain.
That would be a
Nothing.
fantastic start, Rod.
Nothing will go near Flowwood. There must be a large, very, very large incentive for any of the animals to go anywhere near Flowwood.
Even to fly over?
I haven't asked the birds and bats, but I can check in on that.
Good.
Animals can smell, sense dead things, so we can use that to our advantage. Don't know what we can do to remove them once they have discovered the. That is not my forte. I can punch things. Maybe.
Expect that to be required. I'm sure that me and Rodney are not the only ones in the room at this exact moment.
Nope, Ken's in the room, though he's been particularly silent.
Ken's just sitting there kind of lost in thought.
Well, so glad to end up knowing that this think tank is almost running up. Rodney, I appreciate the fact that you and your various grotesqueries are capable of keeping an eye on that good start. Okay, problem number 2. Once we have an idea that they're in the domain, how do we flush them out? I'm sure none of us wants to instigate a gun fight in the middle of the street, nor want any kindred just to ash in front of a whole bunch of individuals with cell phone cameras.
Well, just a thought that maybe, maybe we can. I don't know. But normally, I would say that if we can find out who they are, we can target the things that they care about.
You're presuming that they're not coming in force. We don't have a lot of time. They're so brazen as to end up trying to stealing from the prince and attack Elysium. The boldness has already come to the forefront. At this point, they expect escalation. So, with that in mind,
Fireworks a treat.
there we go. I can provide that. Malice?
Malice is not in the room yet.
Oh. When Malice gets back, we're going to have to end up picking his brain.
Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
So, Kenny boy, you're here not useful in a fight. what do you actually bring to this near situation? You being quiet in the corner waiting to receive an order is not exactly something befitting of the yeah.
I could talk to people, see if anybody has seen anything weird. I could try to force a vision to happen to see if I can get a idea of when they might attack or come. But
What did I
you
tell
would
you
have
about
to,
visions?
as I was about to say, you would have to trust me on that. Or at least take it under advisement. Aside from being a decent shot, that's all I can do in a fight. I can try to gather information. Or, as you said, use a pellet gun.
I'm biting as I am reaching for the jacket. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to have to end up going out and getting ourselves some actual muscle. I'm also going to need to end up making a lot of contacts in order to get a lot of people that really are more experts in this kind of situation than anyone in this particular room. I believe the evening is getting late. Perhaps we'll do better once we are all rested and can start with a fresh evening.
Oh, okay. Okay. I will. Yes.
And so the day
I'm
crew
gonna.
is saying goodnight.
I think so.
How many hours are left in the night? Just as a quick question.
Is probably 2 hours before sunrise, and that's pushing it.
Mm,
That's cutting
okay.
it close. Nobody likes being out there that late. Everybody likes to be tucked in by around 4:30 in the morning.
Rodney is going to take a quick peek outside.
Okay.
About how long would it take him to get to the edge of their domain? Flowwood edge.
Walking?
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at the map. Um, 20 minutes walking.
So you need to give himself at least an hour. He's cutting it really fine.
Yep.
To
get to the river that kind of cuts the Flowwood domain away from the Dolphin Hotel, that's about 20 minutes away.
He doesn't want to go right to the edge, but he wants to go near. About where the animals start to thin out. And he's specifically looking for bats and birds, see if he can find any that are starting to wake up for the day or starting to wind down for the evening.
Do you have the power that allows you to summon animals?
Yeah.
I don't remember what that power's called.
I do believe you can do that with your bonded familiars, but I don't know if you can do that with other animals.
No, that would you only have 2 dots in animalism, right?
Yeah.
yeah, then no, you have the ability to have a familius, and you have the ability to speak with animals.
Talk to
but
wild
you-
animals, but yeah, summoning them to a
Summoning
position.
them is a different thing.
Yeah, that's another power.
So he's just taking a quick glance around to see if he can't find any, just hanging around. Pun was not intended, but it can be taken as such.
Kind of going. Oh, pardon me. Not super far from the hotel. I'm gonna call for a wits plus animal ken, and I'm gonna say because of the rush nature, this is a -2.
Okay.
You're trying to call them quickly to your location, or find some quickly enough to your location that you need to be
Oof.
quick. Thankfully, it's not a bestial crit. Can allow you to succeed
Don't
at a
wanna read.
cost.
What's the cost?
Let's see. Oh, what's his name? Your touchstone. What's his name? Gabriel.
Yes. Mr. Rodriguez.
Gabriel might be involved in something.
No, not gonna do it.
Okay. Then no birds and bats it is tonight. Can't find them. They've either left for the morning or turned in for the night. Thankfully, it's not a bestial failure.
Yeah. So with that, he makes his way back to the hotel.
Barely in time.
He'll have to try the next night.
Mercy and Liv also arrive for the evening to get ready for this day's rest.
Can I do something?
Sure. What do you want to do?
If I see Mercy, I'll relay the message from Malice to bring some clothes up to room, say 306.
Which Mercy would be able to bring you a change of clothes, Malice. So that you're not walking down the place in their skivvies.
And Ken, I think, would retire to his room and possibly start a mural on one of his walls.
Okay.
Just trying to clear his head.
And you do that until your body just gives up and doesn't move anymore? Just kind of flopping in your bed?
Yeah, when it's starting to get to the point where you know that the sun's coming up and you have to rest, he would stop and go and rest. But, you know, for the hour or two that you have before sunrise, he would just start working on laying down a mural.
Each of you find your individual places, your little closets with little beds inside this bunker underneath a rather posh hotel where a woman was decapitated tonight in room 306. And that is where we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to War in the Soul City, Episode 8. The day sleep has taken all of you. Each of you falling to slumber in the little cubbies with beds that you have set up for yourself in this little bunker under your hotel that nobody knows about. The only access to this place is with the master key. And so, the 6 members of the dig crew will wake up individually. Ken, being that you're the highest humanity about all of us, you're the first to wake. Just as the sun is about to go down. What do you do in those brief moments where you're alone?
I think Ken would just still be trying to clear his mind, running over what he did last night, and start finishing the mural that he started the night before. Just running over in his mind over and over again, trying to make sense of like how he could lose control, why he did, and trying to figure out how he can never have that happen again. He's got to stay on top of his hunger. He can't ever let it get that bad again.
Nope. Can never let it get that bad again. Because what if it happens to be somebody that you care about, like your family? Sarah. What if something like that happened to Sarah? Or to Eddie? What if you were the reason?
I don't think Ken would be able to live with that. That's all the more reason he needs control. He needs to stay on top of things. He's been reactionary to this point. He's got to start being more proactive.
Maybe even small bloody tears in the corners of your eyes as you think about the people you care about. And how the woman that you had intended on only having fun with is never going to be found again. But I would like rouse checks as everyone wakes, and those of you who are not so fortunate to be Humanity 8 also arise.
Success.
Ken, your beast is silent as you wake. You are still at peace in a way that's maybe a little unnerving given what you did. But that monstrous instinct that caused you to do that in the first place, it's not even a dull roar, it's quiet. Dana, what's your hunger right now?
3.
3. Getting some nags in the bottom of your stomach. You could go for another meal tonight.
Definitely a part of the plan.
And Rodney, did you rouse for them?
Yes, I did. It should be just one thing.
Oh, okay. I thought I did. Wasn't sure. Okay. Then yes, you. Dana's the only one who gets hungrier. The rest of you are fortunate that it stays as quiet or as loud as it was previously, and not any louder. Dana, you wake up to your phone with several missed calls from Ted's number.
I take a moment to forget that I don't have to. Oh, God.
Only
Don't
from a
tell me
couple
the
of
line's
hours.
busted again. I make the call. Probably probably the beer line busted again, probably leaking all over inside the walls.
You make a call to Ted's direct phone, as that's what the number he called you from. It rings for a moment. Dana,
Ted?
where are you?
I just got back. I see that I missed a call, so what can I do for you?
You know, the itch was getting bad.
Where can we talk?
Not at the armory. I'm not there.
Oh, you won't be coming to work then. Okay. Well, maybe should I come to your place?
No, it's too messy.
Where would you like to meet?
I'll text you. And he hangs up the line.
I hang up the phone. I'm trying to brace myself. I still feel it, you know, those moments where I'm still thinking like a human being. And the worst part is this little bit of code lets me know exactly what the hell ended up happening. And this is part of the world I live in. Who am I to talk? I was just crawling on top of a truck in a high-speed chase last night.
You're about as
Doesn't mean I
close to
gotta
human
like it.
as you can be.
I'm gonna go prepare myself and go feed. I got my jacket and my keys. Lock everything up. As I walk out of my apartment, I'm just trying to make sense of it all.
Everyone else
Worst
from the
part is,
coterie is here. In the gathering room.
Rodney, need you to come along for something. I need eyes and ears.
Oh, okay. Come, Charles. He starts to follow.
Liv just kind of cocks a brow. Do you need help with something?
Not right now. I'll give you a call if I need anything.
Okay.
Right now, you are the only thing that we have. You're the only bullet in this gun. I'd rather you not be out of the chamber.
That's fair. Speaking of which, I need to get to it fairly soon. Anything you guys need from me?
Yeah. Going to need to end up finding a bunch of people who are not afraid of doing a lot of shady business at a very short notice.
I think I
If
can
you
help with
happen to
that,
know.
actually.
Good.
I'll get in touch with some people.
Good. Just keep an eye out. Rodney, I'm
Always
not going
do.
to take you out too long. Kenny, try not to blow anything up before we get back. Malice, if he does, eat him.
Sure thing.
I start to end up making my way to the car, and I'll try and hide Rodney as best I can. Maybe make him
Rodney will
try to...
be in his usual covered self.
The trunk is popped open for you in a luxurious manner. You will ride in the trunk. I am not staring at that the whole time.
And Liv kind of taps Mercy on the shoulder and says, "You're with me."
Take care of each other. Watch
Always
each
do,
other's
brother.
backs.
You ain't gotta worry about me none. And the four of them leave to go their separate ways.
Once they walk out of the room, Malice just turns and glares at Ken. You owe me.
I know. I've never had that happen before. I don't know what happened. I lost control. I never want that to happen again.
Did your sire not tell you to stay on top of your hunger? Make sure that you feed, so that you don't make messes like that.
They talked about it, but it was stronger than I've
Ignored
ever
it?
felt.
Thought you might know better? They didn't know what they was talking about?
I didn't understand. That's not something that you can just describe. To feel that way, to lose control. I've always been able to keep control of myself, but I don't know what happened. I know I owe you
You
big.
let your hunger go too long unfed. There's a reason why, as a fledgling, young licks are told, stay on top of your hunger. If you don't, it takes control, and you lose. Not only a part of yourself, but you leave us open to being caught, being found out, having more people coming down on us being suspicious.
I know I fucked up.
And in the current climate of this city, Masquerade breaches are not going to be taken lightly, as if they ever were before. I'd say with the current climate tensions in this city, that could have been the end of you, possibly the rest of this group. Cozy family we got going on here.
can't ever let that happen again. I won't.
See that you don't. So what are your plans for the evening?
The only thing I can do to think about, I'm trying to, would be to try to gather information somehow. I want to be useful, but I don't have the skills to fight. I'm only good at talking to people. I can moderately sneak around and get into places, but we don't have a need for that right now. There's dirty work ahead, and I just don't know what to do.
So what did y'all talk about while I was busy cleaning up your mess?
They had a little bit of a think tank, laid out what we need to happen. Rodney is going to recruit more animals to keep a net out, see if we can catch anything. Beyond that, we didn't really come up with much. We need allies.
What did Dana have in mind besides allies, Rodney? Seeing if he can find any more critters, do his bidding, and keep an eye on this area.
She didn't come up with some grand plan yet, but
I ain't asking grand plans, just broad strokes.
that's all I can remember at the moment. We were supposed to talk again when you showed up, but I guess she has more pressing issues to deal with right now.
Apparently so, if she took Rodney with her. I assume Rodney gonna be in the trunk. In the way. Well, since you seem to have no major ideas, let's see if you're any good at investigations. Alice will want to make his way back to where the van was overturned. If he can get an idea of where the van may have come from. You said it was a box truck or a van, right?
It's like a moving truck, yeah, like a box truck.
And Malice will see if he can make his way back and find any information on the truck where it might have come from.
So if you're wanting to go out towards that site, all of that has been cleaned up already. There is
Okay.
no truck presence. There is no people. There's no tree.
Was it an unmarked box truck? Was it?
It didn't
Something
have
like
any
you would
decals on the outside for like what company it's from. No.
Okay.
And no one made a particularly poignant note of taking down the license plate number.
But
Got
I
us
know
there.
how to. Well, you know what? Malice is gonna call Quinn. Reach out to Spencer Quinn.
You know that Spencer Quinn doesn't necessarily carry direct contact information.
I'm aware. Just in
So
hopes that he might be close.
The best you can hope for is you make the contact point, and he will get to you when he's not busy. Given the climate of things, he might be busy tonight. Being the hound to the sheriff, after all.
Mouse is still gonna try.
So you do that. And yeah, he's fairly busy. It has to be important if you're going to call him. You would know that.
Malice will leave a message.
There's no message
Hey,
to
I'm
leave. He doesn't carry a phone.
I would have some way of contacting to leave a message that I'm trying to get in touch with him, wouldn't I?
It's almost like a message drop. You drop a thing
Okay.
or mark a thing saying that you would like to get in contact with him, and then it's a turnaround of when he's not busy.
Right. Then Malice will do that.
And that could be a matter of hours, could be a matter of days. You have no way of knowing.
Yeah. And see if he can figure out what he was, where they were trying to go, without getting too deep into the floatwood.
Well, that's definitely the direction that they were going, and I am pretty sure that you all kind of made rolls already last time to determine where it is they were going based off
Yeah,
of the knowledge.
I remembered a safe house that they were probably going to.
Question is, does Ken divulge that to Malice?
If he's thinking out loud, Malice, I think I know where they were going. One of our safe houses that we had is the only one in the area that's big enough to accept a truck like that.
Malice looks at Ken. Do you have anything less loud than that Hawaiian shirt you've been wearing?
Oh, right now I'm in band shirt and jeans.
Aside from the fact that he's very pretty, he looks like he could fit in anywhere.
How well were you known by the Anarchs, rank and file?
I was mostly a wallflower. I stayed behind my sire, so unless they actually paid attention to me, I was relatively a nobody. Unless you think differently, the storyteller.
Nope, that's about right. That's as far as you know.
Doesn't pay to ignore kindred in our circles, whichever side of the fence you're on. Boy. I don't have any way of doing that. So could I possibly figure out or find a way to disguise Ken?
I would say if you're looking for something that's kind of, I mean, you could always do his hair different, always do his clothes different, but if you're looking to do something a little bit more like manipulate with like prosthetics and things like that to change his actual appearance, that's more of like a disguise kind of role that I would call for.
I don't know that I have anything that would work towards disguise, other than minor cosmetic.
Yeah, could I like maybe do some makeup, make my
What what
stuff?
what is your hair color?
I have black hair.
Hmm. There be any wigs?
You can always cut his hair.
Yeah, it'll just grow back. You know what? Malice will get one of his scalpels, of real steel, and he's gonna shave your head with a scalpel.
It is going to take a little bit of
You
time to do.
you are not touching my hair.
He'll be back tomorrow morning. You
Really?
just said you don't know how many of these folks know who you are. You don't know who knows you. It's best to do something to alter your appearance if we're going to be trying to get in there, find any information.
Would I know that my hair would grow back?
You have no idea. He could be pulling your leg for all you know.
Could I see if he's lying to me?
That would be a wit's insight.
It's 2 successes.
That would be versus Malice's charisma persuasion.
Malice isn't going to contest it.
As far as you can tell, he's telling the truth.
I'll trust you, Malice. If you say it'll grow back.
Malice is going to shave your head.
You also shave my beard?
Yep. Both will be back tomorrow when you wake up. No matter what you do to it. To prove it to you, Malice is going to shave his head and what little bit he has.
It's a little hard to do with a scalpel. It takes a while, but you manage to get it choppily shaved, or at least cut down.
Malice will see if he can find one of Rodney's hats. It isn't too old or disgusting. It'll be both of them.
You need a hat. I have some in my room. Not the same style as Rodney's, but
Are you known among the Anarchs to wear the type of clothing you're wearing now? Or did you have other attire?
I couldn't grab everything. I did wear nicer things just because my sire liked me always looking my best.
They didn't see you dressed down like this too often.
No.
Okay. Rodney's known to collect items and articles of clothing. Is there perhaps a jacket that might be close enough to fit Ken?
Any reasonable clothing that you need, Ken might already have.
Okay. I was just thinking a jacket, something that isn't very well known, throw over his shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I have like a leather jacket or something.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty nice.
Malice has a dark brown leather bomber style jacket
Mm-hmm.
that he'll grab. See if he can get one of those hats from Ken as well.
Yep.
It's time for us to make a trip. See what you can do.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Let's get to it.
So, what are the lovely fellows intending to do?
Make a trip towards this safe house and mentioned. See what we can find.
Okay. Are you going by car? Are you walking?
Malice will take his car. He's not going to park directly right next to the building. Following Ken's directions. Maybe a block or two away.
Given what you know about Anarch territory, as soon as you cross the river, they may know you're there. So, I would like you to make a composure and stealth
Oh boy.
for the drive-in. Let's see, do I have... No, I don't have that.
Huh. 5, 6. On a crit.
6 on a crit?
Yep.
Yeah, you're fairly confident on that one. Fairly confident indeed. You're fairly certain that you're getting by. Just able to look as if you're just like any other driver on the road.
Boy. Be anywhere but here. Kenny. Okay. Where are we going, Kenny?
It's about 2 blocks up on the left. It is a nondescript warehouse.
What kind of security did they have?
It,
I don't remember if you rolled for what you remember about that place.
I don't think so.
You know that there's, based on maybe the one time that you've been here before, previously, the, or was it Dana? I don't remember who it was that pointed out this place, but
It was me.
okay. Then, the one thing you do know is that there is some obvious showing that this place is guarded. Because you do see, like, uniformed security guards kind of patrolling the place.
Aside from what we can see, I don't remember much more.
Okay, so they got guards. Are there any security cameras? Go on the inside of the building?
Would I know that?
You would assume so, but you wouldn't know their positions. Or how many, that kind of thing. The specifics you're not aware of. You've seen a number of them, but as far as like exact numbers, you don't have that info.
I know there are some, but I don't know where they are. I've only been to this place once.
As Malice is watching, trying to clock the security guards. See if he can get a rhythm to their sounds.
So how long are you
Malice looks at
wanting to wait?
Malice wants to take probably at least an hour to see if he can figure out the rotation before trying to make any kind of approach.
Okay. So you're wanting to sit in this spot 2 blocks away for an hour?
Malice, the car will be parked there. Malice will try to see if he can make his way closer without drawing any undue attention. See if he can.
Depending on how you want to go about it, is this going to be more of a I'm blending into the surroundings, or you're actually being a sneaky snake?
Malice is trying to be sneaky.
Okay, then that's going to be a dexterity stealth.
Should I make one too?
If you're following him, then yes.
Yeah.
Five on a crit.
Okay. You are a pretty...
I'll spend the willpower to reroll.
Okay.
Just rolling 10.
3.
You both feel pretty confident that you're able to get at least a little closer. So how close do you want to get?
Not so close that I draw attention to myself, but close enough that I can kind of look around the area to see where the guards are located, what kind of rotations they take for their rounds.
Okay. That's going to be a resolve plus awareness. And you can get assistance from Ken if he has awareness.
So, awareness.
Yeah, I have pretty decent awareness.
Or you can choose who rolls it.
It would be 5 dice from me. If
It'd be 5 dice for me as well.
you seem to roll hotter than I do, so I'll assist you.
Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7 on a crit.
Ooh, lordy.
I told you those black dice are only rolling tens tonight.
Hot damn.
Praying, I'm praying I don't roll a 10 on my hunger dice. Don't want them to be steel crit.
Yep, you are tempting fate, my good sir. However, in this particular instance, you're able to clock them like you were like clockwork. They move in fairly consistent patterns. There's one who kind of stands at the entry gate because there is a fence around this place. There's several who are posted at the entrance, and then there's several who are doing rounds around the perimeter, and you have them pretty dialed in just from the hour that you're spending here.
Okay. Mouse is gonna take try and pick a time where they're farthest away from each other in their rounds and not covering the back necessarily.
Okay.
If he can sneak in.
Okay. Then in that case, you have since you did crit on your awareness check, I'm going to allow you to do that dexterity stealth at a +1.
Dexterity stealth +1.
Would Malice want me to come with him?
You're the only one that I know's been here. Yes.
Okay. Then Ken will also need to make a dexterity stealth. You do not get the bonus.
Okay.
That is another 5 on a crit. God damn it.
My God.
The
The opposite of Derek Dice.
These are only rolling 10s tonight.
There has to be balance in the universe.
Please.
Yes, but why
This
does
is
it have
what I
to
see
exist
every
in the
time I
same
look at them.
goddamn game so I can see it? So right now it's salt on top of it because it wants to openly mock me. Look at what you're not gonna get.
Yes,
Never again.
exactly.
You blew all your luck this year on 2 dice rolls. Fuck off.
I mean, for real,
CoffeeCat,
though.
Since we're in a little bit of an out of character mode, sorry, but how late are we going to?
About another 30.
Okay, because it sounds like what we're going to encounter tonight is going to be very, very involved.
Yeah, which we can definitely come back to.
I think that's where that's where I want to start tomorrow. Then,
Okay.
or not tomorrow, next week. I think that's where we need to start next week.
Well, I did want to get back to Dana, though.
Oh, don't interrupt the scene now. It's just everybody. That was the mention of Derek Dice. It's your own goddamn fault.
But yes, it is definitely going to be a more kind of like involved thing that I did not anticipate was going to happen. So this is all on the fly, people. In that case, since it has been an hour since they had been since everyone had kind of parted ways, I did want to come back to Dana and Rodney and see what they're up to for the moment. So we'll come back to Malice and Kent next week. So, Ted texts you and gives you the address of a somewhat derelict doctor's office. Or a basement, really. I thought I had changed it. Never mind. But the both of you arrive in Dana's vehicle, popping the trunk, letting disgusting Rodney out.
So squished in there. And I thought the sewers were a tight fit.
Dana? Are we not coming through, Derek?
Derek, can you hear us? Oh no. Hello?
Sorry, I thought that CoffeeCat was still having a laughing fit or something.
No.
Because
Oh
it
no.
was quiet.
No. No,
Apparently your
we
thing's passed out.
yeah, your Discord must have derped. But yeah, I was just describing that Ted had sent you a text message with the address of an underground basement. Looks like this is kind of like a derelict home on top of something else.
Well, I'm
And
not sure what to think on that one.
And you've let Rodney out as well.
Oh.
Immediately Rodney started complaining about how squishy it was in the boot.
I would have thought you were comfortable in tight places.
I would think so too.
I would also think that you would be used to being buried.
No. Not really.
Keep an eye out. Try not to draw too much attention. Worst case scenario, well, you'll know.
Are we going to have your cam back, Derek?
Oh.
Did you?
Yes, ma'am. Rodney is going to hide, I guess. Gonna disappear.
Dana will guide Rodney to try and end up making sure that Rodney is close enough. Now, if I understand this, Rodney is able to move, even though he's disappeared from sight.
I need a rouse check for you.
Yeah, Unseen Passage is with a rouse. So you do get a little hungrier, making yourself unknowable, Rodney. Kind of pangs the bottom of your stomach, but you're gonna have to stamp it down for a moment. This seems to be important for her to have you come along and be her invisible eyes. And are you instructing Rodney to follow you down?
Yep.
And
he is going to stay hidden as he follows.
Okay. And so you climb down the stairs following this brick wall. It kind of leads down into a dark space. And when you get down, Dana, you do see Ted is sitting in a rocking chair. The rest of this basement is fairly empty. There's an old water heater that's rusted up. An old washer and dryer that's long been unused.
Good evening, Ted.
Dana.
So it had to be let out, huh?
tried to call you this morning. And this afternoon.
Like I said, I am not easy to get a hold of. I make sure of it. I'm sure you can guess a few reasons. But you called me. So how can I help you?
I called you because I was hoping you would talk me out of it.
I'm sorry that that's the case.
And now my apartment is a mess.
Need help with the cleanup?
No. No, that's already settled. It's the... There's a stench.
That bleach can't get out.
No. That bleach can't get out. Filthy wretch.
So how'd it happen? It's a particular type. It just got on your nerves.
They all get on my nerves, Dana. You should know
I
that.
imagine. True.
They all get on my nerves. I've had thoughts about that about you, too.
I'd be embarrassed if you didn't. What were you thinking? Hands around the neck?
No.
Drown me in the sink?
I never did tell you about some of the things back in Alabama. More of an artist myself. But I also like to know how things work, how they tick, what pieces there are. I don't think you truly understand what it is, what kind of machine the human body is.
I smile a bit. It walks, talks, it squawks. It sloshes. A whole bunch of bags filled with fluid, all interconnected with a whole bunch of tubes. A little engine that keeps going and going until it doesn't. Maybe the pressure's off because of a stab wound, or maybe it just misses a beat. Or maybe it's not able to mix in oxygen. Whole bunch of little reasons. A bunch really complicated thing that a whole lot can go wrong. I've seen a few.
She annoyed me. As many of them do, but she just grated on my nerves, my last nerve.
Customer?
Regular.
That's disappointing.
You know Persian's backup singer?
Persian's not gonna like this.
No.
That's gonna make working very weird, isn't it?
I mean, getting rid of Persian could solve the problem.
For about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I thought that would have had too.
So what if you had a way to exercise this?
A sensible human being would rat me out.
Well, thankfully, I'm not as sensible. But then again, neither are you.
I do also want to remind you, Dana, you are Humanity 7, so some of it does disgust you.
Yeah. It does. But I also know what I am. I'm not so new as I'm naive to what I am. And I get that little voice all the time. Honestly, talking to Ted is like talking to myself, I guess. Is it going to be a problem, Ted?
No.
You know how to get rid of it?
I'm not new to this game. I'm a little rusty, but not new.
So what can I do for you?
You had been talking about something about exercise.
I know a few people who might have it coming. But they're not helpless. But I think the thrill might be interesting for you.
Put up a fight?
More than you can handle. But that might be the hope. What do you think?
I think I can be persuaded. What's in it for me?
Chance to really see how good you are.
I
To
know
let it out and no. I read the newspapers.
The newspapers watered it down.
Yeah.
To save the children.
Flinch a little bit when I hear that. But what I'm talking about is real predators. Ones like you. Maybe worse. I don't know. And
Think that I
besides,
need some kind of altruistic goal.
No. This isn't altruism. It's territory. Think about it this way. If one of you can get away with it, what happens when there's 10, 20, 30? What starts happening?
Get noticed. Suppose that's what landed me in jail. I got too ambitious.
So think of it like pruning.
Pruning. I like that. All I need is a name and an address. And
All you need is some names and addresses.
Well, and maybe some cash to, live off of should I need to lay low for a little while.
Tell you what, I'll sweeten the deal. How'd you like to end up staying at a 5-star hotel, all the services, not have to pay for a thing? All you gotta do is stay quiet about it.
You can swing that.
I can swing a lot of things. I do a lot of favors for a lot of terrible people, like yourself.
I doubt it. But
You doubting me?
no,
Yeah.
no. Not doubting you. I'm doubting that you know that many people. Well, I say people. I'm not really people.
Ted, the reason I like you is you're more human than some of the people I have to deal with. I know you don't believe me right now, but you will, in time.
5-star hotel, you said.
If you want, I'll give you a corner suite so you can look out. Get in your car. Drive with me for a bit. I'll start making plans. And maybe we can see how good you are. I gotta call and make sure Reggie can cover your shift. After all, you're sick. And I hate for you to get the tenants, nor the clientele sick too.
He is a terrible bartender.
Yeah. But what else am I gonna do? I need you good, rested, and ready.
I think that's my only regret.
What's that?
I left the armory without its best bartender. Reggie's an idiot.
I think that's what's kept him alive.
We live and we learn, I guess.
Some of us do, anyway.
He kind of gestures back towards the stairs. He gets up from his rocking chair.
Get in your car. I'll pull up and show you around a bit.
After you. Ladies first.
What a gentleman. I start to walk. I make sure the door is open long enough for my entourage to be able to pass through and no issues.
Mm-hmm.
I keep an eye out, seeing if anybody else has really noticed us or anything in particular is out of set.
Okay.
But if nothing is, I'm gonna just make it to my vehicle, and I might accidentally leave the back seat open because there's a conversation I'm gonna have in private company.
Rodney follows them out quietly and slips into the back seat.
When I close up and I drive, I try and make sure that when we end up doing so, I instruct Rodney keep their head down so it's not obvious there's somebody else in the back seat. After all, they are being followed by Ted.
Rodney has not actually broken from his obfuscate at this point.
Okay.
So you don't even really know that he's there unless you can see through.
No, but I can smell it.
Yeah. Your scent kind of gives it away a little bit there, Rodney. You might...
He was hosed and scrubbed down pretty well before the party, so would it?
I imagine he was scrubbed down pretty good. But you had to play sleeping with cats for decades on end.
That's true. That's true.
There's no amount of bleach that's getting that out.
That their kindling paper that is your skin is permanently cat scented.
Yes.
Gross. But yes, conversation.
And so we got our first killer.
He slides down a little bit, making sure that you can't see him. Is he trustworthy? At least as far as you can throw him.
He's not. But he does have a interest in playing. And the best reason. It's not about the money. Means we don't have to worry about bribes. He likes to keep low key. So it's no interest in him to turn against. Makes things very interesting when it comes to killing. Wow. I don't think there'll be much of an issue.
And if he gets curious?
I'll handle him.
Hey.
What do you think?
I think he's dangerous. But useful.
Now the hard part.
He could turn into a problem. But the hard part?
He could turn into a problem. Any kind can. The real problem, I would say, if I had to guess, is trying to get him to do so and not really peek around the curtain. Put him up against what you found in the sewers, he might be dead. Get that thing outside of the sewers, and it might have some trouble.
It wasn't in the sewer.
With the gators?
It wasn't in the sewer. It was by the water.
Yeah, the reservoir.
By the reservoir on the surface.
Well, then we're going to need to get it away from that, aren't we?
Yes.
I'm going to need weapons that work. Work better than 50 cal. Or pardon, she wouldn't know anything about that. Work better than the pellet gun that we know Kenny Boy likes so much. We're going to need more of them too. And you're going to need to get me some addresses. Important ones.
Mm.
I'm not going to be nice about it. I want them all gone. Not because the prince says so, you see. It's because the only way to stay safe. I'll get rid of them all. Or Ted. Or you. Or Mercy. Even Kenny if he's up to it. But I will get rid of them all.
You are a beautiful and terrifying individual.
Well, I'm not just all looks, sweetheart.
Yes.
A rose doth have its thorns. And it is on that note that we're going to conclude the session for tonight.
Yay!
Yay!
Rodney's just sitting there watching this interaction between Ted and Dana, and he's like,
Oh my god.
I'm starting to
This
get
woman-
inklings about Ted.
This woman is here with a goddamn serial killer by the sounds of it. She's friends with a killer. Why does that make so much sense?
Because we're all serial killers at a base.
In character.
In character, in game, yes.
Our out-of-game activities are still up in the air. You can't prove anything.
In game.
I'm gonna grab a quick drink and then I'll be
Yes. So, congratulations, you've gotten through 8 episodes.
Oh gosh.
What
And
I
it
found the
sounds-
weirdest was Rodney was actually starting to empathize with Ted.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh no. But 8 episodes, yes.
Yes, you all have gotten through 8 episodes, and the war has been declared. In so many words. Prince Calhoun is pissed!
You know, I picked this chronicle to not play a heavy like I normally do. We need a heavy so badly.
Well, to be fair, we weren't expecting our heavy to walk.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fine though.
Much love lethality, but let's be honest, we weren't expecting lethality's life schedule to suddenly change and go, oh, well.
Well, shit.
I mean, who
Well, you know,
really needs
same-
a job?
Same thing with Mercy, because Mercy was our other heavy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Specs and Lethality both had life changes and they had to step back. It's sad, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately that's what ended up happening.
Yep.
Rodney might start picking up on that a little bit himself. Because he's
To
got
be
that capability there.
To be fair, both Dana and Rodney both have allies that they can develop already built in their character sheets. So if you wanted to develop your allies as part of this, then
That's the plan.
the plan going forward. But yeah, congrats on 8 episodes. The war has been declared. You can go kill anarchs now.
Death to the anarchs! Death to the anarchs!
Let the streets run riot.
Yep.
Please no, that's a waste of good food.
Be prepared for your enemies and people that you have history with to
Wait. You said
suddenly
it.
appear.
You said it.
What? Who said what?
You said it. You said the line.
Be
So,
prepared.
Yep, there we go.
Yes, that is.
Oh, boy.
It is quickly approaching, everybody. Well, thank you to my players, all 4 of them, for a lovely session tonight. You guys are fantastic, and I love you. Black Wolf, if you're still here, would you be able to set up a poll so that we can get that started? So, we have some stains to resolve, Mr. Tanaka.
No, we don't. We're fine.
We have some stains to resolve, Mr. Tanaka.
Okay, how do we do this?
Okay, so first we're going to go over what convictions you think might apply to reduce some of those stains.
I don't think I have any. Do you think, like, because
Well,
definitely
this is
wasn't
your
defending anything.
opportunity. This is your opportunity to tell me, to pitch it to me.
The only thing I could think of is maybe if you stand by your family. Like I need to stay on top of my hunger so I never hurt them. And this was a stepping stone for me to realize that. But even that's a stretch.
That's a stretch. Too bad,
I
sadly.
don't. Yeah, I don't think I have anything. I think I just fucked up.
Yep,
You done goofed.
you
I done
done
goofed.
goofed. So, you are.
Ow, ow, ow.
So
ow,
what you're going to
ow,
do
ow.
is, on that regard, you are going to go down to the remorse button. Your remorse dice is going to be 1 because you only get a chance dice this time. And it's gonna roll. It's either a high or a low. 50-50 shot.
Oh, let's see if the dice like me.
Humanity loss. Humanity loss.
Humanity loss.
Humanity loss.
Humanity
You are now
7.
Baby cut his teeth.
No.
I'm so proud.
No. We have to post the appropriate GIF. Well done.
We also
Oh,
have
God.
Rodney Concern
man.
in chat.
Oh, yes.
We have a Rodney Concern emote. And Dana lol. She'd find it funny. But yes, you can then now remove the slashes off your humanity track. So, because we don't have to deal with that anymore.
Does your willpower come back when you rest?
That would have been at the beginning of the day or night. But the one that you one of those that you suffered was from your stains.
Okay, so that one stays.
That one's
No.
not.
No, it all heals regardless.
Oh, okay.
And the stain would have happened before the rest, so the willpower lost would have happened before the rest.
Oh, okay.
So you recover as much as you have highest composure or resolve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you only have 2 composure, 2 resolve, you can only recover 2 willpower.
Okay, so I can recover 3. That's good to know.
Yep. That's how much you recover on a rest. I do it that way because then it makes sense because you are resting to gain your will to unlive.
I'm sorry if I bogged down with questions.
Oh no, yeah,
I'm
mechanics
learning.
Where are you going to learn?
Mechanics questions are absolutely viable. Do not ever feel like you have to keep yourself down or anything like that. Because mechanics questions, because not everybody knows everything. So
Yeah,
My
there are
dude,
some
even
aspects
I
I've never dealt with. So
yeah, my dude, even I still have to ask questions, so really don't stress.
there's a lot to know. Even I don't know everything. I had to look up Ashes to Ashes today. So and even Derek doesn't know everything. So
Nope.
we're all still
I mean, how dare you?
we're all still learning around here, y'all. But also, who recovered willpower from fulfilling a desire?
I forgot to update my desire.
I've not found out anything else about Kenny.
Which I still need to message Malice about. Because, okay, so let's solve this out of character, actually, because I keep forgetting to do this. So, Malice spent, what was it, half your resources?
Yeah.
To gain information on Ken from his life before Embrace. So, Malice, I want you to make me a a intelligence and what am I looking for here? Intelligence and streetwise plus your resources spent, which I think was 1 dot in resources, correct? So I'll add.
To intelligence, streetwise, and resources.
Yeah, so
Alright.
that would be +1 to as a modifier.
Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7 on a crit.
God damn! You are
I
on
told you, the
fire.
dice are not rolling anything but 10s tonight.
You
We're
are,
taking your ass to Vegas.
bro.
I used to live in Vegas, okay?
Yeah, used to. He got ran out of town once they realized he couldn't lose.
Yeah, he couldn't lose at craps. Jesus. But yeah,
It's rolling 6-sided dice. These are 10.
so I would say since since Mother, you haven't really given me a whole lot of background information on Ken as far as his backstory, because I don't have that written out from you.
Okay.
Um,
You want me
but
just to go into the backstory a little bit, then?
well, you don't have to do the whole thing. Just if you wanted to give Mojo a quick text about that. But here on the show, what is a major thing in life that Ken either did or didn't do that was extremely important in how he turned out? Like, is there a big moment of clarity, a big moment of he went to jail? Is there like a big moment where he fell into a lot of money? What kind of big event would come across as surprising to Malice?
He would have gotten locked up in juvie for destruction of property and graffiti. And after he got out and got back into the system, he kind of channeled himself into art and doing it legally for people that paid him eventually to make ends meet when he got out of the foster system, because they basically just kind of like, okay, well, you're 18, good luck.
Yeah. So the basic information is that Ken is a foster kid. He has a foster sister named Sarah. You would know the names of his foster parents. You would know he went to juvie. You would know that he had since become a legit mural artist for graffiti, and turned over a new leaf that way. And then eventually it led all to his embrace. That's the basic gist. But if Mother wants to go into more depth, he can certainly type something up for you.
Yeah, we can have a conversation.
Because I would also want that in text form, please.
Okay, I will try to map out like his major life bullet points and send you something, Coffee.
Okay. Yes, please, because I want that for my own notes.
Sorry, I haven't done that yet. I kind of spaced out.
No worries. But we do need to get on to our experience for the night. So, everybody at the table gets your participation trophy.
Yay!
Yay! And the poll is almost over, so we've we've kind of run the timer on that one.
Good job, Black Wolf.
Thank you.
So we do things a lot like Derek does, in that it is a tie between Rodney and Dana, so we'll get to that in a moment. But who had Who had moved our plot the furthest?
And
Every single time, Dana.
Yeah.
Plot driver.
every time.
Is it wrong?
No.
No.
Are you gonna look at me and tell me that I'm wrong?
The other one that I was going to say was probably Ken. But his was a bit more minor than Dana's was, I think.
Yeah, we might find something out, and I might be a contender next episode, but
So we're decided on Dana having swiped the plot mover, or are we still kind of
Yeah.
okay?
that bitch.
All right. Well, who had our best scene?
Hmm.
Dana and Ted.
There's some pretty good ones tonight. Let's be real here.
Kind of really loved Ken's killing and Malice cleaning up.
Malice cleanup. It was probably the one I would end up going for on that one.
Yeah.
No offense, mother, but Ken just kind of oopsed into the situation. Meanwhile,
I'm the one who described it. I should get the point for that one.
Malice comes in and says, "Don't worry, son. Just let Daddy hold it."
Malice walks in. Hold my beer.
I'm the only one without a skull T-shirt on right now. I just realized.
No,
Yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
have a skull. Mine's a star. Mine's an achievement hunter star.
Mine is I stopped existing.
We are all wearing black, though.
Vampire.
We're vampires, y'all.
At least 3/4 of this crew has goth tendencies or was a major goth back in high school, okay? I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just stating it as fact.
Look, man, I feel called out right now.
I'm calling myself out.
Look, there's
I
going to
don't
be
know
at
what
least
you
one
could talk
call out
about.
every fucking session. You know that.
I had
yeah,
no
I
way
really
had the
liked-
chains and the studs. It never happened. We're not. There's no picture evidence. You can't prove shit.
Mizra thinks we're cringe. Well, back to the experience thing. There's a what? There's a vote for Dana. There's a vote for
Malice.
vote for Malice / Ken having chopped a woman's head off with his mouth.
I don't know.
There were some
I'm
good
gonna have
scenes
to go.
tonight.
I'm gonna have to go with Malice, just because I think for Dana, it was half of that was carried by Ted being really interesting character. So I think it was more on Malice's lifting by himself. Of it, that's what edges it out in my mind. Sorry, Derek.
That's 2 for Malice. You're kind of the deciding factor here, Mojo.
Torn.
It really is so hard, isn't it? There's so many good ones today.
It is for me. But I think this is the only category I'm gonna take any points. I'll go with me.
All right. Playing a little bit of the selfish game. All right. Then to Malice it goes. Now, best line.
Ken.
You will not touch my hair.
That killed me. That was such a Toriador line. Also, come up to room whatever the hell I'm in.
I mean, obviously Ken would say the room number, but whatever
It
the
was
hell
just
I'm in is a great out of character. Just point
very
me to the
funny.
room. Oh my god, my cat is snoring so loud.
Oh, baby.
Kitties.
Yes, she is a precious bean.
I'm glad my dog doesn't snore anymore.
So that was one vote for Ken. Are there any other votes for best line?
No, I'd have to go with Ken.
I'm gonna have to agree.
For the same line?
Hmm.
All
There
right.
were
Very nice. Shall not touch my hair. Love it. Love to see it. So, then there's the last one, which is between Dana and Ken. I think it was? Or was it Dana and Rodney?
I think it's
Dan
Dan
Dana.
and
Rodney.
Dana and Rodney. So it's a roll off. You either both get it or you both don't.
Give it to Rodney.
Give it to Rodney?
Give it to Rodney.
Dana concedes.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. I just know on how this shit goes.
And
And I know you're not going to do the same thing. So this is entirely self-interest.
Mm-hmm.
At least someone gets it.
Valid point. So, yeah, that
Stop
can...
treating me like as if I'm a nice guy.
But you are.
Shut up.
Oh boy.
Blasphemer.
Yes, we have a lot of fun here at CoffeeCat Presents, but before I get around to, self-promoting, let's promote our good friend, Macabre Derek. Derek, what you got going on?
As earlier stated, I am the good friends, as clearly I am schizophrenic and maintain a divergent personality other than the one you've currently held. But in case you're interested in the other one, you can end up catching me doing Edmonton by Night Blood Sands every single Sunday at 6:30 Central Standard Time. Following 7 o'clock Monday, I end up doing a Vampire the Masquerade workshop. So by all means, get in there and end up asking whatever questions you end up having when it comes to 5th edition or any of the Vampire the Masquerade lore. I end up discussing a lot of psychology and mechanics and trying to end up showing on how mechanics back up theme quite frequently. If you're interested in some of the art that you may have seen on this channel, primarily for the characters involved, I also end up doing Drawing on the Macabre. Tuesday was Wednesdays before this stream, and Thursdays, which is typically one of my longer streams. So if you're interested in that, stop on by. You can end up finding me at twitch.tv/MacabreDerek. Link should be provided in the chat. Do end up hitting that follow button, and I will end up seeing you all tomorrow. There's my one breath pitch.
Yes, and the links are also on screen for those of you watching on YouTube. And Moxie, you don't really have anything going on as far as like streaming stuff anymore, do you?
Not really. The Gathering of Nerds is still running. You guys can catch us every week over there. I don't really take part in that anymore, though. So, yeah, go check them out. And if you haven't subscribed or followed CoffeeCat yet, please do. They are fantastic.
Yes. I suppose I should go with the shameless self-promotion now, in that I must shill for you all, in that I must direct you to our, as has been going on in the chat scroll going on right now, the best place to watch VODs is on YouTube. And you can find all of the social links for CoffeeCat Presents at coffeecatpresents.com. You'll have my link to Twitter. You'll have my link to YouTube. You'll even have a video stream of my Twitch channel when I'm live. Everything you need is found there. And you could also join the Discord, because we have lots of fun in the Discord, sort of. We don't have a whole lot of things going on in there, but if you want to check out some art channels or need to catch up on episodes, all the links are going to be in Discord too. And so, yeah, everything you need to know for this channel is on CoffeeCatPresents.com. Just go there. Subscribe to YouTube. Follow me here on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. All of that good stuff. Join my Discord. I love you. Okay. So, with all of that in mind, thank you so much to those of you who have subscribed and have followed. You all are the best, and I hope you all have a lovely night. Goodbye, everybody.